Is your brother Rabbi Chinedu. This is the episode 3, the role women play in the life of men. I want to start by asking you, are you faced with so much challenges in your marriage? Sometimes your marriage is at the point of collapse. I want to assure you that you don't need to give up. Because by virtue of this revelation, you're going to find a lasting solution to the troubles you faced in marriages. You know, if you had listened or watched my previous teachings, you will realize that there are 3 categories of women that I brought in focus. So I want to concentrate more on the ideal woman. As a matter of fact, so many of us may not really understand, but today you're going to realize who the ideal woman is. Because so many men desire to marry their ideal wife rather than their real wife. Who is an ideal woman or ideal wife? That woman of your desire. Before you get into marriage, you had expectations and desire. You're looking at one tall, yellow, beautiful woman. You are looking at a woman that has a very good figure. And these are your expectations. And suddenly one day you jump into her and you say, that's it. As you can see, a lot of people will say, God told me, without realizing how God speaks. Before you go into marriage, one thing you need to realize is yourself. How does God talk to you? Because most times people say God told me without realizing that it is their own personal desire that is talking. Sometimes the world is talking, that we call Satan. And then when God is also talking to you, these are 3 dimensions. How do you know that God is talking? Each time God speaks to you concerning a thing or concerning an issue, this is how you will know. When you involve yourself into that, you will have no fear. There will be no trace of fear in you. But when you involve into a relationship and you are kind of seeing some things so unusual that you are entertaining some kind of fears, that is to say that it is your own desire that is driving you towards that direction, and you are bound to fail. Before I proceed, I want to ask you, are you a proud husband or a proud person? Why I decided to ask you this question is this. Anytime a proud person sees responsibility, he sees responsibility as a burden. But once you're humble, you only see responsibility as a challenge. And when something is burdensome, it becomes troublesome. Why? When it is trouble alike, it is unsolvable. Until you're able to break it down to the point of solution or situation. When it becomes solution, a situation, it is solvable. Why I use the word solution? It simply means when you understand what you're going for. Who is that ideal woman? The ideal woman is that woman that will always point out to seek out those your weaknesses, and our duty is to tell the world that this is the man that claimed to be what he is not. What exactly was the first thing she saw in you that attracted her to you? That's one thing. So the moment you fail, as I rightly said in my last episode, once you fail in that assignment, she will no longer respond in line with the way or things as you expect her to do. At that point, you say the woman hates you. I told you that women, we are not created to love. Women, we are created to respond to things of interest. That ideal woman is expecting something from you. And what is that thing? She always wants you to keep standing. But I'm bringing a solution. If peradventure that you have tried your best and you're still finding it hard to flow, you're still finding it hard to keep the family going, there's one thing you must do. Remember, I told you there are 2 dimensions through which we marry or we relate with women. These two dimensions, I said, you could relate with them bodily. That's fleshly relationship or spiritual relationship. If you are not aligned, you are not neat, you are not blended with a woman, both spiritually, physically, you find life very difficult. And it is not easy for you to tell a woman you paid your hard-earned money on her head, and then it is not easy for you to tell her, go out of my life. It's not just that easy. But this is a lasting solution. If that woman has refused to respond when you must have done everything to bring her closer and work with her, you must do one thing. And this thing that I'm trying to advise you is very, very important. Keep loving her. That's your civic responsibility. If she refuses to play her own role by submitting herself to that which you have given out, because love is all about dying for what you believe or what you know, all that you need to do. If you're fortunate enough that your mom is alive, or you see an old woman, then make sure you don't go into deeper relationship, like going into sexual relationship or whatnot. All you need to do is to go to that woman, create a deeper relationship by relating to that woman every of your traveling plans. Let her know. Also, let the woman know that your wife is not responding according to the demand of time. Once you let this woman know, the woman will now begin to play a role that your wife is supposed to play in the realm of the spirit. But you must make sure from time to time you keep giving her gifts, because women love gifts. Once you give a woman gifts, as a matter of fact, you turn her heart towards you, she will start standing in the gap for you. But preferably if your mother is alive, she will start playing the role your wife is supposed to play in the realm of the spirit. Let me give you an instance. If, for instance, you are kind of being controlled by what we call love passion by a woman, the only personality that can undo it is a woman too. Because the moment another woman takes charge in your heart, that love passion does a natural death. So the same thing applicable to this same position that your wife could occupy when it comes to prayer, when it comes to standing in the gap, making sure that things work for you. But don't forget that I told you, no man ever succeeds in this life, apart from when a woman is playing a greater role in standing in the gap for you. I don't need to go all back, because you need to watch all through before you get to this point, before you can understand me much clearer, or else it will start dragging me back. That particular woman you have attracted to your life, it could be your mother or an elderly person, but make sure you don't go into much deeper relationship. This woman will stand in the gap. Anytime your wife is trying to do something otherwise, because whenever you are not in good times or in good relationship with your wife, one thing will always come into her mind. She will always pray that you never succeed. Her fears are that each time you succeed, the next option is to find another woman, because of their jealous nature. But bringing this other woman in focus, the woman will now stand in the gap. Each time your wife speaks some negative words, or sometimes you can see some of them will start saying you will never succeed and all whatnot, the other woman will counter it. Because each utterance, there are spirits that backs them up. Jesus said that the words that I speak, their spirit and their life. Sometimes people joke with words, because when we talk about words, there are dimensional aspects of words. We can talk about the logos, which are the written words, also the rhema, which are the spoken words, and these spoken words carries power. Somebody may speak a word, but once you conceive that word and you begin to meditate upon that word, you could convert that word to rhema. And that could be terrible words. Somebody may tell you something that you are not going to succeed and all whatnot. It is your own duty to say no. And how can you say no? The Bible says, open your mouth wide so that I might fill you with every good thing. This is how it works. So reveal some of your traveling plans to this woman. She'll be the one that will stand in the gap. Because every man's desire is to please his ideal wife. That's just the way it works. So, as long as it is your desire, continue. Don't give up. Because the moment you give up, there's something you create that surrounds you. You kind of create some kind of stress. As you move along the way, all you think about is the woman. And the moment you're stressed in every direction, in any dimension, all that comes as a response is your intelligence will turn against you. And once your intelligence turns against you, you're finished as an individual. So be focused. Don't give up. I had a similar experience in the course of my marriage, but these are my own practical experience. And I'm sharing this experience so that you too can be a partaker of the same. Look at how it works. When you fail to love your wife, there's one thing about women. They always need backup. They back up in the sense that they will always turn their children against you. At a point, their children becomes an armor, and they could use them against you. Please don't give up in your marriage. Your marriage is your life. One time I came in contact with the spirits, and they asked me a very simple question. They asked me to spell the word life. Life is L-I-F-A. And they equally asked me to spell the word wife. W-I-F-A. So the moment you remove L and then place W, it's your wife. And you remove W and add L, it's your life. So your wife is your life. So your future lies in your marriage. Don't give up. Sometimes it could be some challenges, but by virtue of this teaching, you can overcome. But keep loving your wife. I remain your brother, Chinedum, Rabbi Chinedum. I want to plead with you, subscribe. Subscribe is very important. Equally like, share. Make sure you share this particular awesome message that your brothers and well-wishers and friends can equally benefit. Thank you very much. Until I come your way next time.